up, you guys? Welcome to this video. I hope that you're having a beautiful, wonderful day. So today's video is honestly going to be all about school. Now, specifically with school, it's going to be on like study habits, what I do to prepare for things, and how I stay organized. So I'm now in grade 11 now, and I find that classes are getting harder. So this semester I have like physics and chem, social and anthropology, and then I have just like a gym leadership course. So it's heavy, but it's not heavy. So I had a really good average last year. My average was a 97%. So this year I kind of expected, it would drop a little bit. But honestly, my courses are a lot harder. So when I started the school year, I didn't change anything with my study habits. I went to like what I was doing like the rest of high school, and that was I was studying for really, really long periods of time, like 2 to 3 hour chunks. Last year I found that this worked for me, and I was getting good grades, so I obviously thought that that would work this year. But as soon as I went into tests this year and stuff, I realized that my average was going down. I was getting like 80s, I even got a 74 on one test, and just my grades were going down. So over the last 3 weeks, I've kind of looked at my study habits and what I could do to change them. So if you know me, you know I'm constantly studying. Like if someone texts me, they pretty much know what I'm doing. But I wasn't being efficient with my time. So I honestly watched a lot of videos and a lot of like theories. I know that sounds really nerdy, but I was watching videos and stuff like that to see how I could improve my study. So over the last 3 weeks, I've applied those to how I do that. And honestly, I have been remembering stuff and being very organized. So I wanted to share with you guys what I do, so maybe it can help you guys study as well. It is honestly so cool today. Like, I have jogging pants on, and look how cute this is. Like, oh, I just wanted to add it to the video. I think it's cool. Okay, so I made a list of stuff that I wanted to talk about because I didn't want to forget anything. So I think first of all, I'm going to talk about like the organization part of it, because if you're organized, then that helps you study. So we'll do it in like chronological order. Okay, so the biggest change that I've made this year is I no longer use a binder. And I know that sounds really weird, but well, I use it for social and gym leadership. But for physics and chem, I don't use one. And instead, I use one of these file folders. You can actually see that I bought it at Dollarama for like, was it $2.50, so super cheap. So the reason I did this is, honestly, it's because I got really crappy paper this year, and it was just breaking out of my binder, and I was losing notes after I had written them. So I was like, you know what, I have a file folder, I'm just going to use that instead. Okay, so if you open it up, in the front of my binder, I have physics. So I'm now on the second unit of my physics. So physics is in the front, and these are my notes from that. So what I do now is I bought these little, I don't even know what these are called. Like they're just, oops. Okay, they're just like black clips, and I just clip them onto my notes. So it's kind of, honestly, it's really nice. So then in the middle of my binder, or it's not binder, do-tang? It's not a do-tang. File folder, that's what it is. So in the middle, I have my chemistry homework. So this is what it's not the most organized in here, but this is all the chem homework that I've had this year. So that's in the middle. And then, because you have like a bunch of different things, right? So then behind that, I have a bunch of just extra line papers for me to just pull out when I have another note to write. And then in the very back of my binder, oh my god, why do I keep saying that? File folder, I have all of my chemistry notes. So I like to put sticky notes. I have it on like my chem homework one, but not on my physics. I like to put what it is. So this says Chem Notes Unit 1 Isotopes. So this is what Unit 1 was all about. So you can just see everything is together. The reason I like this is because things don't fall out of here. Like this clip keeps it all together. It's organized. I know where it is. And in your binder, I feel like if you're running into class, you just shove it in the back of your binder, and then things aren't in order. So that is definitely the number one thing that I have, is organizing your binder. So do it however you like, but I honestly really recommend using these. Okay, so after I'm done a unit, so like I said, I'm on my second physics unit now. So what I did is, this is the binder I bought at the beginning of the year, and now what I do is once I'm finished a unit, I put that unit into this binder. So this was Unit 1 Physics. It was a very big unit. This was all vectors. So this is Unit 1, vectors. It's in my binder. And my other tip, now this kind of comes along with exams, is keep your tests. So this is the test I didn't do so well on, but I kept it because it will allow me to study and know what kind of questions could be on my exam. Another thing that you could use, and I actually brought them, so I always carry paper clips with me. So instead, if you don't want to buy these little black clips, you could use paper clips. You just can't get as much paper in, but whatever works for you. The other thing that I also keep in these files, is cue cards. Now, some people like to study off cue cards. I personally don't like to do that just because I find them so small, and then if I have a bunch of cue cards, I feel like I need to know more information. But I do keep them in there in case I have like little to-do notes and stuff like that. But go out and buy these. Like, you can get them at any dollar store. Same with all of these clips and stuff, super cheap. I got them all for like, I think $8 maybe. My second tip is to carry around a calendar. So this is I actually got this in would have been grade 10, but it's just a 2018 calendar. Got it at Costco, but like, it says $16, but it was not, it was like $8. So I like to use this calendar, and I know a lot of people use electronic ones, but I have an iPhone, and I honestly just hate my calendar. I don't know why. I just feel like when I can write it down, and then I do a little box beside it, and I can check it off, I feel like a lot better, and like, woohoo, I did it. So I just want to show you guys a week of mine. So this was in September. This was like the busiest week I had so far. You can just see all the stuff that I had to do. And then on the weekend, I had work and then my YouTube videos that I was planning to write. Plan your stuff out. Write your due dates and everything down, because if you forget about a project or you forget when it's due and you're just working on it and then you realize it's due in a couple of days, that just adds on another stress. So I have like 3 projects to do in the next 2 weeks. So I write the due dates down. Do this and it will help you. Like, it will honestly just, it's not, having things in your mind and not writing them down makes it feel like you have a lot more work to do. Like, last weekend I had to study for 3 tests, and there's different areas that I was not 100% on. So I wrote down those, and then once I realized I only had to read 2 notes in each class, it felt like a lot less work rather than just being like, oh my god, I have to study for the whole entire physics unit when it's just a couple of little nitpicks here and there. The next tip that I have for organization is, if you can, start studying for a test a week ahead. I know a lot of my teachers try to give us a week ahead before a test, because a lot of us play sports. We have, like, everyone I know has a job, and we're all very involved. So if you have a week ahead, that gives you a lot of time to prepare for your test. So I kind of have a set schedule for when I'm studying. So if I get told on a Wednesday that I'm going to have a test on the following Wednesday, I start studying that night. And I don't necessarily start studying, but I make my review notes. So if I can, the night that I'm told, I write all the notes that I need to do. Now this sounds weird because I'm given notes in class. Like, I write my notes in class, but I like to rewrite them. So what I like to do is, if I'm giving like a test review and I have my notes from class, I like to kind of combine them together. So I'll write, the top will be like test review, and then I'll write down all the definitions that I need to know. If I study from all my notes, there might be information on my notes, like facts and stuff that I don't actually need to know for the test. So I like to rewrite them with all the things that I 100% need to know. And then if I want to know some extra things in case there's like an extra question or stuff like that, I'll go back to my notes, review it again, and reiterate what I have rewritten. Now, along with rewriting notes, a lot of people that I know, because everyone has computers now, will just type out their notes. Personally, I never do that. I always write them out, unless like it's a really, really long note. I will type it up, but then I'll come home that night and write it out. Reason is I like to color coordinate my notes. Now, it's not necessarily like purple means this, red means this, but I like to have very colorful notes. And the reason is because if I look at colorful notes, I think of them as like happy notes. So like, I'll be more prone to studying if my notes aren't like gray and black and stuff, and it's not just one monotone color. If it's colorful and happy, it makes me want to study more. And actually, I'll show you one of my notes so you can like kind of understand. Here's one of my physics notes, for example, just to kind of show you the colors. So this isn't the most colorful note that I've made, but I like to make it, this one's like purple, blue, pink, and I just like to make them nice and colorful, like I said. You can see this one. This is another physics note. Green, blue, pink, Got some that's actually brown. Just some extra color in there to make me want to study. The next tip that I have for you is studying effectively. So like I said before, I've been watching a lot of videos and I've been reading case studies on how students study, specifically university and college students. So I was watching this long video, it was actually an hour, and it was this professor talking about how engaged your brain is actually when you study. And he said that your brain is only 100% engaged the first 20 to 30 minutes when you start studying. The story was actually that a college student goes to a library and she studies there for 6 hours in a little corner, so from 6 to 12 in the morning. And he says they did a study on her testing and that, or on her studying, and he said that her brain was only 100% engaged from 6 to 6:25. The rest of the hours, she was not actually getting all the information into her brain. She was just reading things and they weren't making sense because she wasn't fully engaged. So after watching his study and then reading the paper, I started studying in 25-minute chunks. So now what I do is, okay, this rule is kind of controversial because one of my tips is to not have your phone on you, but I use my phone for my timer. So I will put it on for 25 minutes. After my 25 minutes is up, I will get up, and if I'm studying at home, I will do like some ab work, or I'll do some jumping jacks. I'll do something active. I'll go make a tea or something like that. Something little, but that has nothing to do with what you're studying. It just gives your brain that little bit of a break, whether it's 10 minutes or 5 minutes, just a short amount of time to just kind of cut off what you're learning so that it sinks into your brain. This is a good lead up to my next point, and that is limit your distractions. Personally, I'm pretty good with this. I don't usually, if someone texts me or something, I'm pretty good at not checking it. And the reason is because I'm so dedicated to getting good grades that I know I have to work hard to get them. I have two more kind of helpful tips that I have, and my next one is going to be change up your study spots. So I kind of have an advantage, and I live right beside Tim Hortons, which is really, really nice. So if I'm having trouble studying at home because my mom comes home from work and then I kind of want to talk to her and stuff, so if I'm somewhere else, I can completely finish studying, come home, and then I can have those conversations. So when I study at home, if I want to, I'm in my room. But the reason that I don't like doing that is because, like I said, I like to study for long chunks, but it's split up now. So I do 25 minutes break, 25 minutes. I'll do that a couple times before I actually have a full, just like hour, 2-hour break, whatever. So when I'm constantly studying in my room, I cannot sleep. And the reason is because if I'm in here all night, it's not like I want to go back upstairs to my room and sleep, where it should be like calm and I'm looking forward to go upstairs. But when I study up here, I don't want to. I usually sleep on the couch or something because I just don't want to be in my room any longer because I've already been in there for 4 hours that night. That was a long explanation, but change up study spots. So if you live close to like a library, coffee shops are honestly everywhere, and they all have Wi-Fi. So for us students now, Wi-Fi is pretty much everything. All of my courses and notes are all online. So Tim Hortons is awesome, I know Starbucks, Williams, stuff like that. Just change up your study spots. And I know that it can be loud. I like to listen to calm, sometimes like cello music when I'm studying. So just put your earbuds in if that's the way that you like to study. Unless you like complete calmness, don't go to a coffee shop. But it's just an idea. I lied. I have one more tip. And that is to, before you move on to a new concept that you are studying, make sure you understand the last one that you were doing. Now this can be hard because if you don't understand one concept, don't stay on it like the entire night. Like I know I just finished studying some chems, like I just had a chem test, and I didn't understand some of the concepts to do with like bonding and stuff. So I remember one night I was looking at this, I don't even remember what it was. It was like ionization, that's not, anyways, scratch that. I was just studying chem and I didn't understand one concept of it. I was on it for 20 minutes and I could not understand. I was like, should I stay here and just stare at this definition that I don't understand, or could I move on to something else, get a bunch more done, and then go ask my teacher about one thing rather than like 9 different things that day? So try, if you can, like if you understand a concept, try to be able to reiterate it before you move on to a next one, because it could relate to your next concept. So if you don't remember, like if you can't explain one of them, maybe spend a little bit more time on it before moving on to everything. That was a lot of information, but I hope that I kind of gave you guys some extra tips so that you guys could really just get the most out of your study. But if I could like boil down everything to like the top 3, honestly, I would say the binder situation would be number 1. It's so much more organized. I love it with like just my clips and my papers and my sticky notes. I find it really nice and organized. Number 2 would be study a week ahead if you can. I mean, not every teacher is going to give you that week, but if you can, really try to like take every night that you can, every morning, even breaks at school, like use that time. I know it's your break, but that's an extra, I have an hour break, so that's, even if you study for half an hour, you know what, you still have that other half an hour to talk with your friends and stuff like that. And I would say the last one would be study in 25 to 30 minute chunks. Like I said, I used to study in really, really long chunks, and it just wasn't effective. Like, I'd be like, yeah, I understand this in the first 25 minutes, but then I remember, like, after, I'd just be like, what did I just read, or what did I just do? Like, could I, if I just read something, would I be able to talk about what I just read? And when I was studying for 2 hours at a time, I couldn't. Like, I couldn't remember back to what I did for the first 25 minutes or the first half an hour. So study in shorter, effective chunks without distractions. So leave your phone. Like, you don't need your phone necessarily to study unless you're like doing your notes on there. I don't understand why you would, but just leave it. Like, be effective. And honestly, if you write down, I know I do this, I should have talked about this, but before I sit down and I'm ready, I write down what I want to accomplish in that first 25 minutes, so that when I'm done, I can be like, yep, I did that, yep, I did that, yeah, I did that. And that just makes you feel really good. Honestly, it makes you feel so good. My last physics test, I did that, and I was like, okay, I want to look at this, I want to read this note, and then I want to do these questions. And I could just take it all off in the first 25 minutes. It makes you feel like, wow, I just got all that done in such a short period of time, but I understand that better. I think that was pretty good. But I want to actually record myself and like do a vlog of a day of me actually studying, because this weekend is honestly the first weekend that I don't have homework. I have a project to work on, but it's the first weekend that I don't have to like stress about studying for tests, because I just finished 3 this week, so I have like a week before I have any more, and it's just nice to have that break, honestly. And it's only the second month of school, but I've been so busy already, so to just have that break is really, really nice. I think when I have a next test coming up, I will record myself in vlogs so I can like show you, you know, me coming home from practice and doing my physics note and stuff like that, and just show you what a night of me studying is really like, because I can talk about it, but maybe recording it and showing you guys would be a little bit better for some content. I hope that you guys have a really good day. Hopefully you can use some of these tips. I know it wasn't like number 1, number 2, number 3, but I just wanted to sit down and talk about it rather than having like a script. So I hope that you have a great day and happy studies. Oh, I actually want to leave with a quote. My chemistry teacher says this every test, because every test that I have, I always say good luck to my classmates. Like, before they hand it out, I'm like, good luck, everyone. And my chemistry teacher says, you don't need good luck if you work hard. If you work hard, you should go into that test and be like, I don't need luck. I know everything. I've worked my beep off. So that is like my favorite quote now. If you work hard, you don't need good luck. So I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you guys have a really good day, and work hard and you will be fine. Have a good one, everyone.